Welcome to Rick's Europe. My name is Peter Kleppe, and today I have as my guest Daniel Foubert, who is a political analyst based in Warsaw. So welcome, Daniel.
Hello.
So what I want to discuss with you is the political situation in Poland, where Donald Tusk, sort of the centrist politician, took over recently. I think at the end of 2023, and sort of purged the national TV and everything. Got rid of all the remnants of the former governing party PiS that has been accused of undermining the rule of law, both by domestic protesters and the EU. I mean, we just saw a European Parliament election result where the PiS party was not doing very well. So, what's next for Polish politics?
Well, good question. Obviously, the European election was a success for Donald Tusk. He got 38% of the vote, which is much better than his result in the general election during the autumn. He got only 31%, and he had to form a government coalition with the very uncomfortable coalition with the left and with the centrist party, which is much more conservative, and they're having frictions now. But because people were still afraid of Donald Tusk, they remembered the high unemployment rate during the beginning of the 2010s, and also his pro-Russian policies. PiS attacked Donald Tusk a lot on this, so he didn't have the confidence of the polls. And now he got 38%, and his coalition partners got almost destroyed. They got wrecked. The center got 7% of the vote instead of 16%, and the left got something like 4% instead of 6%. So that's the big. That's what PiS failed. PiS got 36%. The first and the first polls that appeared were not right. So it wasn't the disaster we thought it was, but the fact that all these attacks on PiS and PiS, the criticism of Donald Tusk didn't work is absolutely disastrous. It's disastrous for PiS. They conducted a campaign that was really strange. They don't have any ideas. It's like the end of a cycle. Kaczyński is still in power. He's very old, and the funniest thing about all of this, the most important news about PiS is that the heads, the number ones on the lists for the European elections didn't get elected because they were chosen by Kaczyński. These were people who just the PiS electorate doesn't want anymore. For instance, Jacek Kurski, who was the president of TVP, the public broadcaster, and what people don't like. They didn't like his authoritative approach and his stupid propaganda. They all say this. Even in PiS, everyone agrees it was a mistake. It was the biggest mistake. And who does Kaczyński send to the European Parliament? People like this. So there is going to be a problem for PiS if they want to win the next presidential election.
And is there any movement to replace Kaczyński as the leader?
No. That's well. There is a. We have seen that former Prime Minister Morawiecki. He said, "Okay, you want put your candidates in the first place. There is no problem. I will, but give me the others." And what happened is that people didn't elect the first, the first, the head of the list, but the people who were under them. So
Okay.
now we have the Morawiecki people in the European Parliament. That's what's happening. But there is no plan. Kaczyński doesn't plan to leave, and because he never was there actually. He always was like the moral authority, the political authority, and I think even what would it mean if Kaczyński leaves? But he's not there. He's just someone. People come to see him and ask him, "Can you get me? I would like to do this. Can you get me this job?" And he's like, well, it's a very strange system.
Yes, like a clientelist system almost, you could say. So and
It's
what
based
about
on loyalty.
the governing party, or let's say the line of the government? So the PiS party, they were Eurosceptic in the sense that they would not introduce the euro, which I personally think is a wise decision. But then if you look at domestic economic policies in Poland, apart from the rule of law problems like the propaganda from the TV, etc., if you're looking at the economic policies of PiS, that was not right-wing. They seem to be quite on the left, spending money. Is there any big change now with Tusk or not?
There is no big change, and that's why he succeeded. There is no real criticism of economic policies, and that he's not doing anything different than PiS. Actually, he actually recycled a lot of ideas. He is continuing the infrastructure project. He's likely to announce that he will build the big um, central communication port, which is a big airport in the middle of Poland and a railway hub. He wasn't clear about this. And PiS criticized that. And finally, he's going to do it. So that they have nothing apart from the destruction of institutions. There's nothing really wrong with what he's doing, and that's a big problem for PiS.
Maybe one more topic, Russia. So Poland has been overseeing a massive surge in defense spending, which is probably a good thing, yes, given how dangerous Russia has become. I mean, could you tell a bit more about that?
Yes, massive but unrealistic. They wanted to find 300,000 professional soldiers. That's something you can't find. They wanted to, in the draft agreements, the framework agreements, they planned to buy 1,000 tanks from South Korea. This would increase Poland's debt to GDP by something like 30%. So yes, it's expenses are increasing. Donald Tusk continues, but it's for now. They're just waiting to see what happens. I think they're slowly buying more equipment, increasing the expenses, and but everyone is just looking at what will happen, and the analysts, even NATO analysts, aren't very clear about this. One day you hear that Russia is going to invade Poland in 2 years. I'm exaggerating, in 4 years, and the other day you hear that Russians will never take Kharkiv, for instance. Wait. What is this all about? but we should buy all these tanks. Yes. Okay.
Okay, interesting. So you think sometimes there's a bit of a sales pitch involved for military lobby purposes?
When doesn't it happen? Who doesn't want to send?
Sure.
So the Poles have to take a rational look at this. Of course, they have to increase the military expenses, but rationally, not
Sure.
1,000 tanks, 2 times bigger army.
Right, good. Well, that's very interesting. Thank you very much, Daniel Foubert.
Thanks to you.